graduate, I realized that we weren't just graduating. We were taking our first step into the real world. I don't know about anybody else, but that kind of scares me. But enough of that. This is a happy day. Today we look back at our past more than any other day. We remember that the past seniors have said and done, we don't know. We also remember when we were freshmen and how long and winding the road looked ahead of us and how we thought it would never end. We think it ended today, but it hasn't. It just come to an end of a variety of on-ramps that we have to choose before going on. While I was writing this, I thought to myself, in 30 years, what would I remember from my high school years? My glorious football days? I highly doubt it. How long and boring advanced math was? I don't think so. The thing I would most likely remember are my friends. We have been through so much together. Breakups, athletics, homework assignments, trouble. With a capital T, rubble. If it wasn't for our friends, who could we talk to? Our parents? Yeah, right. They've all heard, well, you just don't understand once or twice in our lives. We may go on in our lives to college and jobs, and after that, and of course we'll meet new people and make new friends, but no matter how good of friends they are, they will never compare to the ones we made in high school. Along with my friends bring memories. Memories are things no one can take away from us. I'll never forget when Byron dunked the ball up at Holdridge at district basketball. And when Jeff Zarr pinned the #1 ranked guy in his districts last year's junior year. And when Jared Dorn went swimming in the middle of April just for our senior picture. But the memory I know I will remember till the day I die is today. I will always have this memory of me graduating from my closest friends.
In 1987, 34 kindergartners began their journey through Alma Public School. 13 long years later, 37 seniors are graduating today, on May 13, 2000. The morning kindergarten class consisted of Derek Ehrke, Nick Ehrke, Jeff Ehrke, Kim Shippert, Carla Lubeck, Michael Denby, Chad Robinson, April Wetstein, Rachel Mahaffey, Christina Schwartz, Becky Metzger, Stephanie Shaw, Andrew Bynes, Jared Dorn, Marlo Bertrand, Scott Bechter, Stephen Flatt, Joe Weisheit, and Jason Nelson. The afternoon class consisted of Nicole Dietz, Jimmy Pearson, Jeff Zarr, Vinny Kasiska, Noah Muthart, Chris Russell, Michael Whitmire, Amy Davis, Rosita McKnight, Thomas Malashevsky, Jeff Linden, Matt Mackey, Jason House, Byron Hanna, and Carrie Beeler. It was at this time that we started friendships that would prove to last for a long time.
In first grade, we lost Michael Denby, Rachel Mahaffey, Michael Whitmire, and Rosita McKnight. But on the other hand, we gained Angie Klesner and Crystal Dow. First grade was a time of lost teeth and sitting in Mrs. McIntyre's bathtub while attending school in Republican City. In second grade, Andrew Rhines, Marla Bertrand, Benny Kasiska, Jeff Landon, and Angie Klesner left us, while Johnny Rodick, Laura Taylor, Megan Bomhoff, and Becky Marachek joined us. This was the year we trooped from Republican City back to the new and improved Alma Elementary. While we were still in Republican City enjoying recess inside the gym, Thomas Malashevsky tried to show off to some girls, but instead, he tripped over his shoelace and slammed into the wall, cracking his head open. In third grade, the highlight of our year was when Joe Weisheit threw a ball over his desk, causing two others to follow in his puke steps. It was this year we lost Amy Davis and Matt Mackey, but gained Lacey Smith, Cody Jorgensen, and Brady Bird. Fourth grade began with Zach Kressler, Cody Cannon joining us, and losing Brandy Bird, Crystal Dow, and Chrissy Durden, Thomas Malashevsky, and Jason House. Every morning the shift consisted of us showing up at the crack of dawn to get our states and abbreviations written in order to go out for recess. By fifth grade, we had lost Cody Hanneman and Chris Russell, but gained Joe Shesky, Matt Dubay, Chris Fenton, Shelley Irwin, and Jessica Nyberg. The last 3 years had been taught by Mrs. Schrader, so we were ready to get rid of her and move on to a new teacher, Mrs. Vaughn. This year, Carrie and Carla started a friendship bracelet business at recess, only to be copied by other classmates, which infuriated Miss Vaughn and led her to shut down all the businesses. This year we were a split class taught by Mr. Swartz and Mr. Ehlers. Mr. Swartz taught us the meaning of AD, assertive discipline, while Mr. Ehlers let us play with his lab rats.
Our junior high years brought on sports, relationships, and many throwdowns over boys. Nick was quite the ladies' man back in the day. Hey Nick, what happened to you? In 7th grade, we lost Brad Fields, but gained back Megan Bonbach and Angie Fleschner. In 8th grade, we gained Wesley Tassell. This year was the year that Jared Dorn needed to go to the bathroom, and Mrs. Morland let him. So I guess he's still mad to this day.
Our freshman year, we lost Andy Flesner, Emily Merritt, Lacey Smith, and Kim Shepard, but gained LJ Engel, Kylie Marlette, Lori Minster, Amanda Roder, and Richard Stantiski. During our freshman year, some of us thought we were 16 and old enough to drive. These people were Nick, Stephanie, and Carla. Little did they know this was just the beginning of their criminal records. Our sophomore year brought Shannon Conopton, but we lost Joe Shesky, Christina Swartz, Amanda Roder, and Rachel Stantiski. Our sophomore year also ended Stephen Platt's 9-year obsession over Laura. During our junior year, we lost Stephen Platt and Zach Husser. However, Joe Whiteside, Jerry Wyman, Sean Stone, Johnny Rodig, LJ Engel, and Jeff Czar showed us the true meaning of their obsession with cars and trucks. Our deepest sympathy goes out towards Shelley, Becky, Kylie, and Engel. This year, Jeff Oakey also showed us his racing abilities with his attempt to outrun the cop, exceeding the speed limit, going 126. After raining for 40 days straight, Nicole, Carla, Lori, Carrie, and Becky decided to skip out of Spanish class to go get some ice cream. Nicole tried to go boating with her car down South Street. Turns out she flooded her car and she didn't make it too far. Mr. Still also learned a valuable lesson our junior year. That was never to let Ehrke play with power tools after he attempted to make a belt sander fly across the room. Megan and Loretta were also well known for skipping school to attend other duties in Oxford. Now we've made it to where we are today, the end of our senior year. This year we gained Emily Merritt and Amanda Guerrero. Nick, Fire, Jared, and Jake expanded their horizons this year by attending a rock concert, which Fire gained heavily for. Chad also received a rude awakening when Leslie thought he was asleep in government class. After nudging him and causing him to fall into distress, she realized he had actually passed out. Noah also learned to never walk behind someone on swinging a golf club.
Through these 13 years, we have seen the true talent of our fellow classmates, such as Scott and Jimmy with their singing abilities, Matt, Cody, Lori, and Leslie with drama, and Shannon, Jessica, and Chris in running. Becky also shows her ability by winning every possible athletic award ever known. Emily and Stephanie, however, broke the school record for missing the most school days. While our time here is almost done, if we remember one thing about today, remember this. Life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop to look around once in a while, you just might miss it.
Enjoyed you very immensely, so thank you for sharing the 1 year away from your family with us in Alma. And to show our appreciation, the senior class would now like to present to you a state flag of Nebraska so you can take it back to Ecuador and remember where Nebraska is. Time in their life called graduation. Each parent's love, sacrifice, encouragement, guidance, and help has been instrumental in allowing the seniors to graduate today. Because of this dedication, the seniors would like their parents to please stand and be recognized when their name is called, as your son or daughter will present you with a small token of their love and appreciation. First of all, Derek Ehrke, son of Jerry and Jody Ehrke. Jimena Barrero, exchange daughter of Dave and Jody Schrader, Peg and Ron Marachik, Bill and Jane Hoagland, and Brian and Linda Lubeck. Cody Jorgensen, son of Cliff and Diane Jorgensen. He thought he was going to get me to cry today. Not yet, Cody. Shelley Irwin, daughter of Lane and Julie Irwin. Chris Benton, son of Catherine Benton. Kylie Marlin, daughter of Kenneth and Barbara Gibbs. Technology's great when it works right. Jeff Ehrke, son of John and Linda Ehrke. Notice how I blamed it on technology. Laura Taylor, daughter of Sharon Taylor and Andrew Taylor. Scott Fector, son of Don and Diane Fector. April Wetstein, daughter of Keith and Kat. Matt Dubay, son of Larry and Ann Dubay. Shannon Kronhoffman, daughter of Galen and Trish Kronhoffman. Jared Dorn, son of Gail. Chad Robinson, son of Bill and Pam Robinson. Peg Marachik. Nick Ehrke, son of Galen and Shirley Ehrke. Megan Baumhoff, daughter of Keith and Leanne Baumhoff. John Rodig, son of Danny and Penny Rodig. Lori Metzner, daughter of Don and Dee Metzner. Sean Stone, son of John and Cheryl Stone. Carrie Beeler, daughter of J.J. Beeler and Brenda Wagner. Average of 90% or higher through their 4 years of high school. Because of their hard work and dedication, they were able to maintain this high level of academic excellence. This year, there are 10 graduates who have set and maintained this standard of academic achievement. At this time, I would like each honor student to come forward as I call their name so they can be recognized for their commitment to academic excellence. Nicole Dietz. Bay. Ehrke. Vector. Byron Hannon. Butler Scholarship and the Dempsey and Doris McNeil Scholarship. Chad Robinson, the Carriage House Foundation, Southeast Community. Terry Beeler, Ben Andrews. Ehrke, the Dick Brown Memorial, Community Bank, and United Methodist Church Scholarship. And Jimmy Pearson, Community Bank Scholarship. That concludes the scholarships. Thank you, local scholarship contributors.
ladies and gentlemen, parents, faculty members, students. It is a great honor to be here today to present the graduating class of 2000. Of all the tasks that I perform as superintendent of schools, this is the one duty that gives me the greatest pleasure. Each year, before I present the class for graduation, I take a few moments and reflect on the importance of education in our society and the significance of this graduation exercise. This class has a unique status of marking the beginning and the ending of a millennium. They set on a transition in time, a time that history may remember as a breaking point between the old and the new. Many things change. One constant always remains. That constant is the quest for knowledge. The continual search to know and understand the world around us. 2000. Alma Public School, in partnership with community and family, have prepared them to become responsible and productive citizens. They have met the requirements set forth by the state of Nebraska and the Board of Education for Alma Public Schools, and it is my recommendation that they be awarded diplomas for their fine efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2000.
Graduates, please step forward. Names called, receive your diplomas. Megan Diane Bompog. Johnny Lee Rodig. Lori Dawn Metzner. John Anthony Stone. Gary Lee Beeler. Jimmy Christian Pearson. Stephanie Lee Shaw. Jeffrey Allen Czar. Emily Karen Merritt. Byron Lawrence Hanna. Jessica Justine Nyberg. Chad Michael Robinson. Rebecca Ann Metzger. Joseph John Whiteside. Leslie Danae Tassell. James Derek Heinrichs. Rebecca Lee Maracek. Nicholas Galen Ehrke. Angeline Taylor. Scott Thomas Fector. April Louise Wetstein. Noah Van Dyke Muthard. Carla Lynn Lubeck. Matthew Brian Dubay. Shannon Lee Kronhoffman. Jared Gale Dorn. Loretta Marie Martin. Derek Ross Ehrke. Maria Jimena Barrero. Cody Randall Jorgensen. Rochelle Celeste Irwin. Christopher William Benton. Nicole Lynn Dietz. Larry Nathaniel Engel Jr. Kylie Renee Marlette. Jacob Richard Nelson. Jeffrey John Ehrke. Congratulations to the Alma High School graduating class of the year 2000.
Are you eating something? I'm so glad.
Bread.
I'm so glad.
I don't think I know how to cook like that.
All up for $200.
They must have sent a truck to bring it all.
Yeah,
They
then,
delivered
they
it?
delivered it.
That would be fun. Whatever happened to the table then? The big dining room table? You got the buffet.
Oh,
but-
we gave it to Will and Elvis when we got our new one.
Some of that stuff went to the, when the kids went to college, they took some of that.
Oh, yes, some,
Dresser? No,
oh, that was our bedroom furniture.
there's
more watermelon?
Elmy and Wilma had a drop leaf table from you. Was that,
What?
was it a drop leaf table?
No, it was an open one.
They bought a drop leaf one from you when you got,
That was the kitchen one, wasn't it, or something?
that's how, it's in the,
I
co-
think
the
it
garage
was
now.
the long one.
That's the one they had.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the chairs are still in the utility room, or maybe in the fruit room, or the west room. Furnace room. Some of them are there yet,
That was where the kitchen set.
yeah.
But that wasn't the original one, the one that was started.
Well, that guy run the gamble store, over doctor, was gonna furnish our eats and a hotel, but we didn't, we stayed at my dad's cousins. That's where we stayed. So we helped him that much, he furnished our supper, we stopped in, West Hastings, East Hastings.
I can't think what town is that. It's still
Okay.
there.
Stopped at a cafe, and he furnished our supper.
so what did you have on the farm when you got home?
What?
Did you have cows to milk? What did you have on the farm?
My dad gave us one cow to milk. He didn't give it to us, but he let us milk one cow. And
I thought there were two.
maybe two dozen. And Aunt Lizzie, raised 50 chickens.
Hatched
So
them.
we grew them up, and my mother gave us 35 laying hens. So between those laying hens and that milk or cream we had to sell, that's where we lived on.
You've been doing chicken a long time.
And our gas barrel, 15 gallons. That's a lot, 15 gallons supply.
Dad gave us some pigs. 4 pigs, didn't he? Who did? Dad.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean-
no.
And where did you live then?
South of Bethel Church, a mile south and a half mile.
Okay.
Building's all gone now.
Well, the barn's still there.
Do you have pictures of that house?
Don't know where.
We lived there 15 years. Now, come down here.
A long time.
Bought this farm. Tore down the old house. that She lives in, used to live in, with us. Built a new one. And put down an irrigation well and bust some pipe, all the same year. My dad was sitting there, that wasn't quite done built, almost done. He said, "Can you stand it?" Yeah, I said, well, he said, I guess if you could stand it, then I can stand it too. But he thought maybe it was gonna be way too much expense.
In New Orleans, they try to keep a lot of their old buildings, you know, as historical
I don't
buildings.
believe I do either, that was real good.
And they're
but I
having
think I
terrible
had enough.
time with termites.
I'm just gonna eat more.
Some new kind of termite that they can't kill. And they think a lot of the buildings that they've tried to save with all kinds of stuff are just gonna fall. But to me, a lot of the buildings look like maybe the termites are better off getting it.
Yeah.
Where is that, where you live?
New Orleans,
Oh, New Orleans.
some of those buildings, I think the termites could have, as far as I'm concerned.
Now, you went to the preacher, and did he just say, "Will you have this woman?" And did you had rings? Did you buy those that morning too?
We might not.
Where did we get them? I don't remember where we bought our rings, do you?
Well, they're diamond.
Yeah, but our wedding
We
rings.
bought that and didn't like it. So then I ordered another one. Said, no, where Monkey was.
Is that where you got her diamond? No, you got it in mine.
Yeah, but the one I ordered, I didn't like.
Yeah, then you went to me. Then he went back? No. Oh, did he? Supposed to got mine in order, but mine's not the same one. My diamond and wedding ring and my first set were really, really thin and they wore through. And so then for our 25th anniversary, these are my original diamonds. He had that reset home.
That's what these are too.
Yeah,
We had.
you had to have yours reset.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't know how good her ring was. I mean, how anything about the diamond or carats, but it cost over $100, a little over $100. What?
My first one was $97, I think, Walter told me. And that was a lot of money then.
Oh, that's, well, that's right.
You could buy more on the radio for that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it was more than the suit.
Yeah.
See, Mom got done with school on Friday and they got married on Tuesday. She had a day to get ready. Her contract said if she got married, she had to quit.
Did it really?
That's what they said. They didn't know we couldn't catch anybody, did they?
No, but you got married, I mean, they didn't let married women mention
Oh,
very
no.
much.
Mine said that, and then old John Dumpus lived out there with that lady and didn't marry her. And he was on the school board. So I kept thinking, if I wanna get married, I'll get married, and then I'll tell him he better too.
So that was their last day of school for the year anyway. And then they have a new teacher in the fall.
And they got Dorothy.
Not in Dorothy time.
When I taught there 2 years. No, I only taught one. I taught there 2 years and I taught one.
Did you teach after that then too?
No.
Another school?
She went and got married.
I taught number 10. I taught that school on the road to Beaver City for 2 years while she taught the last 2 years at number 4. She taught 3 years before I got started, didn't she? Uh-huh.
My
Quite a
grandma,
bit older than I am.
my mom's mom, my grandma, used to be a teacher too.
Was she?
And she used to tell stories about these big guys that would come to class and, you know, be mean to the teacher and how she had to take care of them.
Yeah. We never had anybody that was mean.
No,
I
I was
had-
scared to death. Well, the first year I taught, I had 2 8th graders. They were bigger than I was.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, what if they don't do what I tell them?
Yeah.
And what am I gonna do? But they never did. They were
You never
just
had
real
any
good.
problem.
Then, when I taught number 4, I had 8th graders again, and they always told me their bigger brothers, there were about 4 older boys that had just gotten out of the 8th grade, and the mean things they did to the teacher,
Oh,
but they never did.
They never did they?
they must have liked you.
Yeah, they
Well,
were
I don't
good.
know, but.
I had an 8th grade girl the first year. You remember the first 2 years I taught school, Eleanor Dunkus was twice as big as I was. And I had 8th grade boys that were bigger. But they were good kids then. You didn't have to worry about them. They carried your coal and they got your cobs and, you know, they did things for you. Yeah, didn't they? They were good. They
I
get
never
the
did
water
that for my
bucket,
teachers.
didn't you?
No.
If the water bucket was empty, they'd get
Sometimes
the
I
water bucket, fill
cleaned
it
the
up.
erasers, but I never hauled the water in.
Didn't you? Yeah, they were good kids. And the older kids, we had a buddy system. And the older kids had somebody in the, we drew names so that you didn't get your own brothers and sisters all the time. And then they had a buddy system to help them get their boots on to go out and play in the snow and do things like that. And that worked real good. That kept them busy. By the time they got their boots on and got out, it was time to come back in.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But I think the kids and the parents both were good when we taught school. You know, if you had you didn't have any problems. I worried about Welsh Root because he was so slow. And I talked to his mother, who had been a teacher too, and she worried about him too. And we kept him back a year. Talked to the county superintendent and everybody, and his mother really was the one that thought he ought to stay back. And so I said, well, if he'll stay after school, I'll help him. You know, I'll work with him, but you can't go to help him when you got all those other kids. And so I helped him a lot after school, but she still wanted him to stay back, and I thought, oh, I hated to do that to anybody, but he did. And I thought, now I wonder when when it comes time for him to go to high school, if he's gonna say, I'd get to go to high school if it hadn't been for Miss Dorfa. But you know, after he graduated from high school and was in the Navy, he wrote me the nicest letter that he thought that really had helped him all his life. And that made me feel good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I wrote him. I used to write him once in a while anyway. And I wrote and told him that it was as much his mother's idea as it was mine, you know, because she realized. But Velma was a nice gal, and so was, what was that other one? Delma. Velma and Delma. I had both their kids.
I have a Ken Ehrke story for you.
Oh.
Galen told me this. When he was in Vietnam, you used to write him almost every day, he said. But sometimes the letters would get delayed. And one day he got a letter that said that you were having to go to court, to take Ken to court.
Oh.
And that, he was in trouble and had to go to court. But he didn't know why. Because he didn't get that letter until later.
Yeah.
And he thought, well, what, did he shoot somebody or what?
Yeah.
And he had a car accident, I guess.
Oh.
And he had to go to court for that.
But Dad went with me. You didn't.
Well,
I don't remember. I don't remember.
but I thought that was a pretty good story.
Yeah.
No.
When Karen said, Mom's writing Karen, she's gonna have surgery. She wrote the dates, but Karen didn't get the letter saying
What you're
what it was
doing.
about. So.
Yeah, okay. That can happen.
Anybody want more chicken?
I don't know.
I used to have this piece of
Well,
stuff.
Ken don't know probably what happened to me on the first, when I was first grade. I flunked the first, teacher was sick. And I was all by myself. I think I learned the difference between cow and black, cow. And then the next year, Roman marker started. So the teacher put us together. So I was in the first grade. All right, afternoon, I told the teacher I'm sick. I'm really sick. Of course, he had to walk down to Smith and call home. It's quite a ways, And she got my mother and said, Lawrence is sick. You better come get him, he's sick. Well then, Dad and Uncle Rich was wrecking hay about a half mile west, through the cornfield, over the hill. She walked through them sanders and through the cornfield to tell them that Lawrence was sick. You have to come and go get him.
Her little boy was sick.
Yeah.
So my dad come home, and he went up there and got me. He got home, and I told my mother, I said, I'm not sick. I just wanted to see what you were doing. just wanted to see what you were doing.
Did your seat hurt?
I said, did she
And she
shake?
should have given me a whipping,
Uh,
but she didn't, I guess.
she didn't, no.
She didn't, your mother
No,
wouldn't do
your
that.
mother wouldn't whip you. Well, you know, Terry had to go to court. Well, he didn't have to, but one time he got caught, he was going too fast. Just right over by the high school. Well, he told me when he came home that he got stopped and got a ticket, but he didn't have anything in writing about it. And you know, that was on Friday, and the next Wednesday, we got a letter in the mail that was telling him how fast he was going. And I was kind of disgusted about that. I thought, if he's going too fast, he needs it. But why did it take him that long to tell me? So I said to him, you could appear in court, you know. So we went to court. Rita went along. Rita was, you know, she was little. So we went to court, and so I said to the judge when it came up, I said, you know, if my son's going too fast, that's fine. You know, I expect him to get caught and get a ticket. But I don't think it should take him 3 days to figure out how fast he's going. You know, and so the judge said, well, let me see that. So he looked at it and he said, that is really strange. And I said, well, to me it was strange. You know, I thought it was funny they didn't put it on the ticket and say what it was. So he said, well, we'll just forget about it. If you can forget about it, we'll just take that off of his record. And I said, well, it's all right. But I said, I didn't think that was the way to handle it. And so on the way home, Rita started to cry, and I said, honey, because I was a nervous wreck anyway. Honey, what's wrong with you? I wanted to be on TV, she said. You know how they had a day in court? I said, well, we didn't want to be on TV. But anyway, they didn't. But I thought that was kind of funny. So, you know, these mothers that stick up for these honored kids.
That's what
Yeah.
happens. That's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. But I just thought that was funny that he didn't write it out when he was supposed to. And the judge thought it was funny too.
Where did you get married?
We got married at home. Because when we got married, see, it was between ministers at our church. We didn't have a minister. You know how it takes them so long to get one. And we didn't have a minister at our church. And we had always gone to Lutheran League at the Lutheran church. But we didn't want to be married in the, we wanted Reverend Hendrickson to marry us, but we didn't want to be married in the Lutheran church. So we were married at home. Right by the piano, weren't we? And
So
Aunt
at-
Maud was there.
At
Huh.
the preacher's house.
No, at
Oh,
my
at your
house.
house.
At my house, yeah. And Aunt Maud came from Kearney. She was the only one besides Wilson's folks and us and Clyde and Lola. Clyde stood up with us and Wilson's sister, Dorothy, stood up with us. And we were married at home and then had a nice meal at home. And then we went to Omaha. The same guy in Oxford was gonna pay our way, but we didn't let him. He didn't pay it. But we went to Omaha and stayed all night under the hill, yeah, that was the name of the hotel, and bought our furniture. But he did that for a lot of the young people.
Oh, yeah.
He was real good, but he gave us some money so we could eat supper. He would have paid for
Okay.
our, yeah, but
As
I
you-
suppose the night's lodging was probably $10 or $12.
Oh,
It wasn't
cool.
very much.
But I bet when you wanted to buy furniture, you went back to them.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
we bought an
She
old,
didn't tell you the whole story.
uh,
His driveway was on the water,
oh yeah.
and Wilson's dad and mother put him in a wagon and drove him clear around on the north side
Drug him out.
to get rid of it.
Yeah.
To get to the wedding,
Yeah.
they lived where Jerry does, his Wilson's folks.
And the whole driveway was underwater, the whole
Yeah,
field,
it was
south of the
flooded.
house was
You couldn't go
underwater.
up and down the driveway. Uh-uh.
So they put him in a wagon and drove clear around on the north side. So his dad said I had to haul Wilson off
Yeah,
to get him.
Wilson
get
always
married.
said they had to drag him to his wedding. He didn't want to
I'm
get
glad I
married.
didn't have to swim.
Yeah, that's right.
The Willies knew those Jeanette girls were a catch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they liked me even if he didn't.
And what did Grandpa Bill tell you? Did they come with a guarantee or?
Well, I can't think now what it's good to say about it.
I don't know either, but when Dean, well, you know, one time when Dean was back here, you remember? Dean come rushing back in the yard and told Grandpa that he brought Helen back, you can have her. And Dad said, take her, her warranty's run out.
And then one time he said, I don't care how far you drive the car out of gas, but don't ever drive it out of oil or water.
Yeah,
Remember him saying that?
yeah.
What kind of dresses did you have?
We had pretty dresses. You still got yours, haven't you? Yeah.
Are they white or?
Pink. Hers was
No, they
pink
were
and mine was blue.
Just, you didn't have white.
Oh, no.
dresses,
You just have regular.
uh,
And they were
regular.
both on sale. Didn't, weren't yours on sale? Mine was on sale too.
And with lace and stuff? Or?
No,
it was,
just, mine had a bolero jacket.
mine didn't.
Yeah,
Mine was just.
mine was light
You
blue.
wore
She
it for
still
your
got hers.
25th anniversary. You
Yeah.
didn't wear it
I
today.
can still wear it.
Yeah, but you know, when we moved from the Tasty Freeze, we had stored a bunch of stuff up overhead in the Tasty Freeze. And when we moved, as we were loading the trailer, somebody took a couple boxes of our stuff, and my wedding dress was in that, so I didn't have mine after that. But mine was real pale blue, it was real pretty. It was a pretty wedding dress, yeah. I've got a picture of it, but I don't have the dress.
But you've got along okay without it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, okay with that.
Francis is gonna show you hers.
Yeah, hers was real
She
pretty.
wore it for her 50th.
Yeah, your 50th, I think she wore it. Uh-huh.
Got no time getting zipper shut.
Yeah.
You both look very big.
Yeah. Hers was real pretty. Hers was pink.
My grandma, Ladwig, my mom's mom, her dress was purple.
Oh, was it?
A really dark, rich purple, like satin.
Uh-huh.
And it was hung in, the draped a little
Yeah,
bit in the
uh-huh.
front. It was really pretty.
Yeah, they had some real pretty ones. Well, mine was kind of pretty. It was trimmed, you know, and all. And
There you go.
yeah, there. Isn't
Oh
that pretty?
my goodness.
Yeah, that was real pretty.
60 years old.
Yeah, it really was. You should have put that on today.
No, I shouldn't.
You should. It really is pretty, though.
Should have bought her a bouquet of flowers, but I never.
No, we didn't ever have flowers then, did we?
Well, she had-
Francis,
she
my
had a bouquet
grandmother's
on.
was purple. My grandmother's dress was purple. A beautiful satin, very, very expensive material in that time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did she make it?
No. And then for her 50th anniversary, she didn't fit in it, but my aunt made a dress exactly like it,
Oh,
out of
she
the similar color material, and she wore that.
Oh, how
And
nice.
it was just very pretty.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was,
Yeah, that's real pretty.
that was.
60 years old.
Yeah, 60 years
Well,
old.
you gotta hang on to that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dad's brothers and sisters gave him a clock that's downstairs.
Mhm.
Striking.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Does that still keep good time?
What?
Does it keep good time?
Oh, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Uh-huh.
You have to wind that once a month or what?
Once a week.
Oh.
And that commode or whatever it is, put your dishes in.
The
Plate
buffet.
that sits on top, that was it,
Yeah, the
part of the
buffet.
furniture.
Uh-huh.
Are you done with your plate?
Do you want some ice cream and strawberries and chocolate chip cookies?
They had a dessert a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, we do.
I'll take your plate, Francis.
I think I'm done.
You could clean, you don't want to get those dirty. Ah, thank you. That was very good. Yeah,
Well, I worked real hard.
yeah, yeah.
Then, so you got married at home, then did you go to,
We
where
went
did
to
you go on your
Omaha.
honeymoon?
Yeah, we just
Oh,
went to Omaha and
that-
stayed one night and bought our
And you
stuff.
bought your stuff
And
in?
we bought what? We bought a dining room table and chairs. I can't remember what we paid though. We bought a dining room table and chairs and a kitchen table, that drop leaf table, and a davenport and a chair and the rug for the parlor. That's what we bought. I don't know about a bedroom. We must have bought a bedroom set.
And then you lived with his folks?
No,
Were they-
his folks moved to town and we lived on the farm. Yeah, no.
Stanford?
Uh-huh, they moved to Stanford and we lived on the farm. Yeah. But I don't know what our furniture was, wasn't very much. Uh-uh. But I don't remember what it was.
She had a bedroom suite.
Yeah.
It was Clyde's. And then
Did you?
mine was Mrs. Parker's mother.
Was it? We bought a bedroom set,
And
'cause we had a
she
bedroom.
said she maybe thought maybe two, been used twice.
Uh-huh,
Cost me $35
was it? Yeah.
for the dresser and commode, whatever it was.
Yeah,
And the bed and
Chest
the
of
spring
drawers.
and the mattress.
yeah, we bought a dresser and a chest of drawers and a bed. And you know those old fashioned ones where it's lower in the middle and then comes up on each side? And they were so pretty. I still like those kinds. That's what we bought.
But mine cost $35.
Yeah,
She thought maybe it'd been used a couple times.
yeah. And they bought, let's see, you had a wine overstuff set and a blue rug. And we had a blue overstuff set and a wine rug. Yeah, that's what we
The chair's still sitting out in the garage.
Well, we should've got it out and dusted it off.
Yeah, we should have, huh? Yeah, you just never know. But it was fun anyway. And we double dated a lot, didn't we? Oh golly, we went a lot of places together. We rode in your rumble seat a lot.
Could you hear the radio in the rumble seats?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we went a lot of places together.
We went through that overpass with Wilson.
Just
East
about
Alfred.
got us all, didn't it?
We met somebody coming in. I don't think there was room in there for 2 cars, but we met it.
Yeah, somebody up above was watching. They didn't want us up there. They didn't want us up there, did it? No.
We met it.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, you had lots of fun
We
60
sure-
years ago, and you're still having fun.
Yeah, we still are, and I'm so glad they're so well and are having such a good time. They're a good couple.
Should I bring you bowls for
I'm
dessert
so
or are you
proud of
full?
her. Huh?
Should I bring you bowls for dessert or are you full?
I don't want any more.
No, thank you.
I don't think I care for
Okay.
it. Are you gonna have dessert?
I don't think so.
No, I don't
Francis,
think
you
so.
want any?
We'll let you save it. No, I've had plenty. In fact, I think I probably better go home. My kids will be calling and wondering where I am.
After Wilson had the last heart surgery, we put trouble. North Loomis.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Sure did.
We did a lot of things together. We painted your doors downstairs. We had more fun.
Yeah,
We did all the varnishing on the doors downstairs. I never will forget one day, and Whitney was about this big. She was down there and we were working on that. Oh, she was just talking to Blue Streak, and so finally Lauren said to her, Whitney, why do you talk so much? And she looked up at him just as innocent and she said, well, Grandpa, I have a lot to say. She was so cute.
Ken Shaver was doing the work down the business. And I wanted him to finish the doors. He said, why don't you get Wilson to do that? He'd like to do that. So I talked to Wilson Doyle. Well, yeah, gosh, they were here the next morning. Now you wouldn't believe it, but there's 11 doors down there.
Yeah.
There's 11 doors. And we did it all and around the edges.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did it all, didn't we? It was fun. We had a good time doing it.
Oh, the closets.
Yeah.
That's lots of doors in there.
Yeah, there were lots of doors on the closets.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
There's 11 doors down there.
yeah,
There's no, but there is.
yeah. Yeah, isn't that nice?
And made this morning. Made this morning.
Yeah, that's
They
nice.
did a nice job.
Well, you know, Ken, you said, well, you and Steve thought about hiring them. And that gave us the idea. We hadn't thought about it before.
Oh, that was good.
No, she wanted, she said, where we going, where we going? When you mentioned about the Stanford Cafe,
I thought we should rent the community building and have them cater it.
Oh, yeah,
And Mom said, well, the community building will be graduation that day.
yeah.
But they talked to them.
Yeah, and I think they were real thrilled.
oh,
They did
yeah.
a real nice job.
They anywhere, you know, when we asked them, they just act like they were excited.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really
we-
were.
just him and her was in there that afternoon.
Yeah, that's
So we
all.
got to talking, we would sure like to do it, we would sure like to do it.
Mhm. And they did a terrific job.
Oh,
It
yeah.
couldn't have been better anyplace.
I don't think so
Uh-uh.
either, and.
I told her, I said, a little bit crowded. Yeah, but she said, we got one this far,
Oh,
we
sure,
got.
sure.
And what, they said they charge you what, did you charge you $5.95, is that what it was?
Oh, about 7.
Well, well, that,
$7 a head is pretty good.
Yeah, that's good
Oh,
with
that's
the,
cheaper
she
you
baked
could
the
get.
cakes and everything.
that's cheaper than you could get at any place
Yeah,
else.
that's right.
I give him a $50 tip.
That's good, that's good.
And
Yeah,
I give him 3 $100 bills, so we got $350.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, she, when she was gonna figure it up, you want the whole bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, I want the whole bill. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll have to figure it.
Mhm.
She got done figuring, I think 290, I don't know. $2,
Francis,
something like that.
Where should I
Here's
put bread?
50 done for you.
Yeah,
Oh.
The
well,
bread
thank
isn't
you.
there.
yeah,
And I said, here's $300 bills.
By the
That's for you.
chips?
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, she's that's great.
Yeah, that was great. Well, it was
Yep,
really nice,
yep,
and
yep.
thank you very much for my dinner.
Well, that, it was well worth it.
Yeah,
I just thought that
yeah, I thought it was too.
wonderful. You know, you couldn't have got a meal like that in a place.
Uh-uh.
No, it's close and handy.
Yeah.
You know, I guess Galen went to a tour before they left. He wanted to pay for their, well, she said, it's all been taken care of. More than taken care of, she said.
Yeah, that's good.
But she also told
You're
Galen,
very welcome.
there's such good customers we couldn't turn them down.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's good though, because they do appreciate people coming in. They're really nice.
Well, every time we've been in and ate, I always left $100 tip.
Yeah,
I mean, a dollar tip.
yeah.
Not $100, dollar tip.
No
Yeah.
wonder they think you're good customers.
You always give them a tip. Then they should.
Yeah, and their food is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what they have. Yeah.
Well, that's the reason I had him come out. You know, he hardly ever shows up.
Yeah, I know it, and that was nice to have them come out.
I keep
Yeah.
really
He did
close
a
to
real
the
good job.
Yeah, you wanna
He
thank them?
thanked me, he
the
thanked me.
kids collect.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
school or something?
Yeah, they collect.
I didn't know.
So I always say them.
mhm. There, is that it? Well, I think I better run. As long as I've got all the dishes done. When are you leaving?
In the
Tomorrow?
morning.
Good. Well, it's good to see you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you. Sometime I'm gonna pull you and ride with you.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
tell your kids hi.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Steve.
Very nice to see you.
Yeah, yeah, and thank you.
Oh,
You're
you're
so
welcome.
special.
Well,
Oh,
we can't get
I'm
along
so,
without
oh,
each other.
I'm so glad that you got to celebrate this. Thank
Oh,
you,
I think
Lawrence.
You're so welcome, Dorothy.
Yeah, thank you, I tell you. Yeah, everybody, it just is wonderful. Yeah, yeah. So, but I think I better go, my kids will be calling.
Oh, yeah, they'll wonder where you are. You'll have to check in. won't
Yeah,
you?
I'll have to check in, they'll be calling and wondering what happened. And I'm just so glad you got to celebrate.
Oh, I am.
You're so special. What would I do without you? We don't have to, do we?
When you're going with her for the pickup,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just so thankful.
Do you want to ride with her and pick up the pickup at Jerry's house?
Sure.
And then come home.
maybe it's there yet, I don't know.
It's at Jerry's?
It was, and I don't know, it's still there now. That's where Karen left it.
Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Yes. Yeah.
Steve?
Are you gonna, John will take you to Jerry's. Are
And-
you got your keys for the pickup?
And if it's not there, then call and I'll come get you.
Oh, I'll bring him back. I'll bring him back.
I hope you find it.
Yeah.
Well, I think think that's what it is, don't you?
Also, Brown had the car, and she probably drove down there, and then they took the car.
Oh, to go to church.
Yeah, the boys had the car
And then they went to the church.
Well, that's.
And she probably never thought more about it. I don't think she took off though.
Yeah.
Well, 60 years ago today, Mom and Dad got married. And we have had a wonderful weekend, and we have celebrated and celebrated and celebrated. And everybody went home but Steve and I. And we started asking about the day 60 years ago and what Mom and Dad did. And we remembered there's lots of things from 60 years ago around here. So we dug them out, and we want to show you. Beginning with this radio, and it's very special, so we'll have Mom and Dad tell us about it.
Well, Violet went to work at Nathan's store, and she drove my car. And in the afternoon, I went with my folks, and as I was walking down the street, I saw that car sitting there with it. Well, it had an antenna on it. And I opened the door, and sure enough, there was a radio in there. And Frances was working at the size creamy station, writing checks. And she had the elevator man, Hatch Martin, put that radio in that car. That night after work, we took a ride. And of course, we turned the radio on. And they kept playing Two Sleepy People, Too Much in Love to Say Goodnight. That's the story of the radio. Boy, was I ever happy.
And how much did it cost?
Well, it cost $70, and I made $60 a month. So I paid for it.
$6 or $6?
I made $60 a month, and it cost $70.
So it was pretty special. All right, before they got married 60 years ago, there's some history with this chair. And maybe Mom can tell us about it.
This is a chair that my dad and Mom started housekeeping with. And so they were married in 1910, so that's how old it is. And Linda refinished it for us several years ago.
So it's 90 years old, and there were two of them in the porch on the farm, and John and Linda have the other one, and Mom and Dad have this one. All right, well, we were talking around the table about how they got their furniture and how they got started. And so, can you retell that story?
The man from Oxford that run their gamble store took us to Omaha to get the furniture. And also he took Helen and Leo Tams. And he wanted to buy our supper and our lodging that night. But we stayed with my dad's cousins that night. But he bought our supper. All right, we got about $200 worth of furniture. And we got an awful lot. And also I got a wedding suit, $18. It cost $18. And Frances got her wedding dress for $9. Can you believe it?
What furniture pieces did you get?
We got a dining room set with a table and chairs and a buffet. 6 chairs. We got a kitchen set and 4 chairs. We got this chair and a couch to match it. It was a couch that made into a bed. And we got a rug, a blue rug for the living room, and a range stove for our $200.
The stove burned wood and coal.
The stove, okay. And I went out to the wash house on the farm at Jerry's and found 2 of the kitchen chairs. And they are a little worse for the wear. They had a design on this back with red and black stripes, I guess.
And when we came home, I had drawn a picture, and so Violet painted the same design on our cupboard doors that were on the back of the chairs. And she hadn't seen the design yet, but she did it from the picture I drew for her.
Well, fun. So those chairs were kind of rickety, and they were in the basement when I remember, and apparently with all the kids there were some problems because they've been fixed with baling wire to keep them together. 60 years ago. I don't know if this is 60 years ago or not, but it was in the wash house, and Mother scooped up a good bunch of dirt with that over the years. Okay. So we don't know if that's the beginning. We understand that they had some livestock to begin with. So there's a cream can that says Lawrence Ehrke on it. It's not 60 years old, but it says Lawrence Ehrke. Stamford, Nebraska. Somebody produce company. Lawrence Ehrke, Stamford, Nebraska. Some county creamery. And Holdridge must be the Phelps County Creamery. So anyway, the part of that story about 60 years ago is Grandpa gave you a couple cows to milk?
Yeah, Grandpa Ehrke gave me, Grandpa Ehrke, my dad gave me 2 cows to milk, and Lucy Williams gave us 50 chickens, baby chickens to grow up to make fries, and my mother gave us 35 laying hens. From the eggs that we got from the laying hens and from the cream we sold from them 2 cows, that was our income. That was our income.
That's what brought our groceries.
Yep. Also bought our gas. Our gas supply was a 15-gallon drum. Just a 15-gallon drum. And most certainly at that time, when you went to the station to get some gas, you never said fill her up. You maybe bought 3 gallons.
The cream cans always came back. They had 2 wires on it so that it would fasten tightly. But I used the 1 wire to wire the toys together.
That was important. And Grandpa Jeanette gave you 4 hogs, and Grandma Ehrke gave you 35 laying hens. Yep. So that's what got you going. So we've been talking about that 60 years ago today, and there's a few more things inside that we want to show you on this special day.
This is my wedding dress. I bought it in Omaha for $9. It was on sale, and I guess that I wore it. That's what I know about it.
That dress is over 6 years old.
And you might say you got your suit. Oh,
I don't have my suit.
no, but you got it.
He got his suit the same trip, though. You ordered it.
Yep. $18 for my suit.
Well, there's a few other things that they got on that trip, including this buffet. That was part of the dining room suit, I guess. And the clock. Tell the story about it.
Well, the Ehrkes bought it in Skinny, and the family gave us the clock. That was our wedding present.
And the clock still runs. Still runs. It keeps good time.
Every Sunday.
Have to wind it every week. I wind it every Wednesday.
These, what I call, anyway, these dishes, the glass plates, the sherbets, And the goblets, my brothers and sisters gave us a set of 12 of each. These was a present for my shower. Before I was married, Hazel Youngquist and Grace Coffey gave a shower, and there was also a skillet in a skillet, the roaster, this pan, and the tea kettle. That was my shower gifts.
And we've had many roasts made in this pan, including one made yesterday. And the important thing that comes from this pan
is a burnt sugar cake. That you can see the bottom that I always burn my sugar in it for the burnt sugar cake.
And you got your recipe for that?
From Grandma Ehrke, and she got it from Aunt Lucy.
And the roaster hasn't had a handle on it for all the years that I remember, but it still makes pretty good stuff. Okay. That water thing isn't from the wedding, that it came a year later. 2 years later.
The boiler, when we were first married, I went up to Lawrence's folks every Monday and washed my clothes with it. When she washed, I washed my clothes. Then, in December, before Kieran was born, Lawrence bought me a washing machine, and then I had to have the boiler, and we put our water on Sunday night so that when he started the fire in the morning, we could start. It would get hot, and we could wash. Then I also used the boiler to can when I canned anything, meat or fruit or anything. I put the jars in there and filled it full, covered them with water and boiled them for a long time. That's the way I canned.
She still cans meat. She still cans meat in the water.
Yes, sometimes I do.
We want you to tell the story of what you did on your wedding day again, if you would, for here. Do you want to sit down? Are you tired of standing? Or? No. Okay. Where did you get? How did you get married, or how did you get your license?
Well, we never got our license ahead of time like we should have. But when we was getting ready to get married, we went to Beaver City to get the license. And the judge was in court. And he saw us standing back there by the door, and he thought, well, I bet they want their wedding license. Of course, we were all dressed up. So he come back there, and he issued us our wedding license. And then we went to Hollinger. The preacher lived at Hollinger. He was out in the garden at that time. He's working. And he married us. He never dressed up. He was just had on his garden clothes, and he married us. Now, Francis will tell you who stood up with us.
Violet and Harriet and Nelson went with us, and they stood up with us. Then we went home to my folks, and Mother and the girls fixed a very nice dinner for us and Lawrence's family, and Wilson got to come, and Skinny, and Leland and Viola. And we had a real nice dinner. Then, afternoon, we went to Holdridge and had our wedding picture taken. Then we went to McCook and stayed all night in a hotel there. Then the next day we went clear to the Colorado line, because I had never been to Colorado. So Lawrence took me there, and I got out and walked across the line so I could say I'd been in Colorado. Then we came home, and we stopped in Edison and bought our groceries. Lawrence had a $20 bill to start when we started on our wedding trip, and we made it home on that. I guess that's what we did.
And then when we celebrated our 40th anniversary, I said, where are we going? I said, how about going to the hotel in McCook? And she says, now it's an old people's home. So we didn't go, but we should have. But she said, now it's an old people's home.
We were married on Tuesday. Thursday night was graduation. Helen graduated from high school that night. Then, after graduation, they chivalried us. And there were people from, we lived out on the Ellis farm, and there were cars as far as you could see clear up on the hill by the Bethel Church, and they were all coming around, and there were lots of people came to that chivalry.
And what did they do for your chivalry?
We took the bed apart, and in August, we found the bed slides on the north side of the creek, just across the creek. And we were married in May. And also on that chivalry night, there was a whole bunch of folks from the south and southwest waiting on the west side to come in. So they come too. So we had a lot of people there.
Floyd Arford wanted us to have so many there that we'd run out of treats. We had to give candy bars and to the girls and cigars to the men. And Floyd Arford had gotten up the chivalry, and he wanted us to run out of treats, but we didn't.
We got awful close, though.
You might have spent your $20 on chivalry treats.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that was 60 years ago. It is May 14th, 2000, and we've had a very, very special day today. And so we'll let Mom and Dad tell you what happened today. The day started with all of us who were staying here. The house was full of people for graduation yesterday, and Mom had rolls that she had made, and we had breakfast in several shifts, and then we got ready to go to church. And I'll let them tell you what else happened.
Okay. The whole family went with us to church in Orleans, in the Presbyterian church. And they were all there but two families, Jerry and David. But anyhow, Jerry's had to go to church in Alma because they were honoring the seniors. But he said, we'll be there for dinner. Anyhow, the church was full. And the choir was great. And they sang the last song, I can't even think of the name now. Jericho Road. And boy, I'm in favor of that song. I really like that song. But anyhow, to start with, the preacher had us come up there, and he said, those folks are celebrating their 60th anniversary. He wanted us to walk down the aisle like we did 6 years ago, but we didn't do it. I couldn't do it.
And they sang happy anniversary to us. The whole congregation sang happy anniversary to us.
What did you find in your car when you got ready to go to church?
Oh, gosh. In the back seat, and in the back glass, there was a great big card, and it says, what, married 60 years? Married 60 years, and I don't know what else, but so and then after church service was over, well, they had a whole lot of balloons tied on the car, and instead of tin cans, it was balloons. Here's the picture that was in our back glass on our car. Married 60 years. That's our wedding picture. That's our wedding picture.
And out in front of the church, when you
Oh,
arrived.
in front of the church, there's a great big long sign. Now, what does it say?
Lawrence and Frances Ehrke's.
Lawrence and Frances Ehrke? Yeah. Been married 60 years? Yeah. And inside the church, there was another great big white card with all the church people had signed it. Their names was all on there. And we've been married 60 years. That was nice. The church was full. Even a lot of people had that set in the back, and the choir, generally they get to come down, but they couldn't. Here's the card that was in the church with all the names on it.
And half the church was reserved.
Oh yeah, about half the church was reserved for the Ehrke family, and boy, there were sure a lot of them there. After church service then was over, then we went to the Stafford Cafe, and they catered the meal for us. The Harris, him and her, and boy, I tell you, they done a real good job. There were 43 there, 43, and we had roasted chicken, we had roast beef, we had mashed potatoes and gravy and corn, salad bar, and French toast. I think it's French toast. But it was great. And then they served us iced tea or pop. A lot of them had pop. And then they served us cake at the end. So
Chocolate and white cake.
yeah, black and white cake.
Lots of potatoes.
Lots of potatoes left over, mashed potatoes, but they sure ate a lot of potatoes. And there was quite a lot of roasted chicken left over, so they sent it home with us.
Then we came home.
And yeah, then what? Oh, took lots of pictures of all the different families. Yeah, before they left. And they finally, after picture taking, well, they were free to leave. Quite a lot of them had to leave because they have to go to work Monday morning. And some places it's a long ways home. We had people here from Coffeyville, Kansas, Denver, Colorado, Omaha, Lincoln, Alliance, Orleans, Stanford, Texas. Yeah, and the Texas folks are still here yet. I guess they're going home tomorrow.
So have you had a good anniversary?
We had a wonderful anniversary, and we had awful good eats. They done a good job serving the cafe, serving dinner at the cafe, even though it was crowded. They did a wonderful job.
Well, we're pretty happy and proud of our parents for not only making it 60 years, but for being 60 years in love, and just as much in love today or more than they were 60 years ago. So it's been a wonderful weekend and just a great opportunity to celebrate.
Did we mention that the three boys graduated yesterday? Did we mention that? No. Yesterday we all went to Alma to graduation. Nick, Derek, and Jeff all graduated, and they reserved places for the Ehrkes to sit there. So we have had and then we went to the community building. They had their reception all together, and it was very, very nice. So we've had a wonderful, wonderful time.
On prom day, on prom night, there were 6 our grandboys, 6 and their girlfriends, and they looked awful nice. They really looked nice. There were 6 of them there. Ken and Steve have been making this tape and taking pictures, and we enjoy that, and we're going to thank them very, very much for doing the work tonight.
This afternoon they presented us with a money tree. And there were, they had tied money on the tree. We haven't taken it off yet, but there's gold dollars on it, isn't it?
60 gold dollars.
Oh my, 60 gold dollars. I came downstairs last night, but they wouldn't let me. Only I got to the bottom of the stairs and shut your eyes, get out. So I didn't see what they were doing. Well, that is wonderful. And Karen brought us beautiful yellow roses, too. Oh, yes. That is what Karen had for each one at each place.
And the Stanford Cafe.
Yes, at the Stanford Cafe.
And last Sunday, a week ago, our brother and sisters had us for lunch at the Cornhusker hotel, not
In Oxford.
in Oxford, yeah, eating place. And the meal was great. And she had the basket there. I think Dorothy Willis got that basket. And there was a bird on top, and inside was a whole lot of money, $145 that they had collected. That's the basket. There it is.
In the basket.
That's a picture of the money in the basket. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I think probably my wife will buy another pair of shoes.
Here's what Dorothy gave us. Here's what Dorothy gave us. Oh, I get the roses. And this is now. Karen and Bill brought these from Denver. The yellow roses, and are they from? And they're from our 7 favorite children. They are beautiful.
We also got a pretty bouquet from
The Boses.
Moses.
Dick Bose and Jeannie and Maxine and Eileen Tepman.
Those cards that we have received 139 right now. 139.
Their picture was in the paper, in the Alma paper, inviting people to share in the celebration with a card shower. And I don't remember where this picture comes from, but it's a good picture. And these bouquet of flowers come from the Tepmans, Mom talked about, out of their yard and garden. And they got another bouquet from their neighbors on the other side of the street, the Tamses, on the other south side. So the celebration continues, and I bet you'll get a bunch more cards tomorrow.
Probably will.
And I guess that's official. That cookie jar's been in the family a long time. It wasn't it wasn't to start with, but it's been in the family for a long time. It's had many, many cookies in it.
Well, we'll probably think of some other things, but this will be a good tape. Maybe you other brothers and sisters will catch up on this by a tape on another day. So 60 years, May 14th, 2000, on their way to forever together, Lawrence and Frances Ehrke. Well, we thought we were done, and then there's a few things we need to add. This is a poster with clipping from the paper that I believe Margie and her family made. And that's part of the picture that got all the cards. And I guess there's stuff inside. So pictures of the different grandkids and little notes from them. So that's pretty special to enjoy. These are flowers that the Boses, Dick Boses sent, and Maxine Bose. Okay. One of the most important things we forgot is Mom and Dad got gifts for each other, and this is what my mother got for 60 years married.
This is my anniversary ring for 60 years. Then this is the original one. We had it reset. The diamonds reset for our 25th anniversary because it was worn thin, but it's doing fine this time, and we still have it. And this is.
And Dad got.
And this is what my wife gave me for 60 years of married life. That's a pretty shame. Wearing my hold the tie in place. Yep.
$60 years.
Well, there are rings on those.
That took a long time.
Well, I think so.
After about 40, they decided, Carol Lee decided they should put 3 in each one instead of wrapping them all individually.
I think so.
You know, one time we got a money tree for Raymond Munson. What was for the wedding? I think it had, what, $25, I think. That was a lot of money then. But I don't know what it's for. It was a money tree.
So we got it for Raymond Maxine.